I do want to be done learning. I think ignorant bliss is the way to go. I think that's why my dad is so happy. He's living La Vida Loca, and I want that. I don't want to learn. I'm done learning. Like, ignorant bliss is the way to go. Like, I was fine when I first heard about Roe versus Wade getting overturned, when I thought it had something to do with little boats. That was fine. It didn't bother me at all. I was like, why is everybody freaking out about this? With the invention of the motor, I feel like we're past ever doing that again. And then I learned, and I wish I would never learned. It's the worst. It's the worst. And I'm sorry for you ladies, because it's only gonna get worse. It sucks. I wish I never learned. I don't want to learn anything. I watched one of my favorite movies of all time again recently, for the first time since I was a kid, Pee-wee Herman's Big Adventure. Googling that movie should be a federal crime. They're shutting down Pornhub in Ohio. I'm like, shut down the Wikipedia page for Paul Reubens. Do you guys know Paul Reubens, who played Pee-wee Herman? Do we know this? You're nodding. Got arrested in the late 1900s. This is true. Paul Reubens, for those that don't know, Paul Reubens played Pee-wee Herman in the series and the Pee-wee Herman's Big Adventure movies. And Paul Reubens was also arrested in the late 1990s for masturbating in a porno theater, which I honestly think is easily the second creepiest thing you can do in a porno theater. The first creepiest thing is not masturbate. What? What are you doing there, you weirdo? The guy that's like, good film. Lock that guy up. Put him in jail, dude. The guy that's like, the cinematography is to Guantanamo Bay. And now that I say it out loud, honestly, I think the second creepiest thing you can do in a porno theater, report the guy. That's masturbating. Where do you think you are, pal? This guy's like, excuse me. I'm trying to enjoy the cinema. But there's this little man in a bow tie shaking my whole row. Just making little sound effects. It's like a 4DX theater in here. Have you guys been to those 4DX theaters? Yeah, where they like shake your seat and squirt you in the face with water and stuff. That would be a terrible porno theater experience. Can you imagine? Like, what is that? It's like glue? Gross. 2 tons vibrating. Like, whoa, no. Okay. I can read a basement. That's also something, by the way, I wish I never learned. Porno theaters? What? Never once have I been in the mood, put my laptop on my chest, and thought, I wish my friends were here. I wish this was a community experience. I wish I could eat popcorn with my free hand. Wish this was happening on public Velour. That's so weird, porno theaters. What were our parents doing? Just like beating their wives, shouting racial slurs, and going and jerking off with their friends. That's why they like trains and Fox News. It's just that we would too. We'd like Trump too if Ron Jeremy was our idol. You know? Okay. I don't know, you guys. Learning sucks. My parents are both teachers. They hate this bit. I just so I'm done. It's a bummer. I watched a documentary on America's wars. Ugh. That's a fucking bummer, you guys. Spoiler alert, we're often the bad guys. In so many of these wars. I have a new favorite war. It's the Revolutionary War. White on white. Easy to stomach. That's my favorite. Plus, it's like easily the silliest of those by far. Keep your feet on the stage, man. That was cool. Don't second guess yourself. You're on it. You sat front row with your cool girlfriend on your cool day. Put your feet up on the stage. There you go. See how cool he is? Are you guys on a date? How many dates has this been? A year of dates? Nice, dude. When is he gonna ask? This is good. That's so weird. It just became a conversation for a little bit. Remember the Revolutionary War I was talking about? I think I don't know. I think that we all just kind of breezed past that war in school and just didn't think about why the fuck they dressed like that. It's war. It's war. It's war, and you went with Marching Band Motif? What is this? They spent so much time, like, ironing their coats. And like, oh, we're off to war? Like, yeah, dude. Not one of them was, like, putting his triangle hat on, thinking, perhaps we should wear a helmet. Maybe we should cover our whole body in buttons. Like, that guy. We still talk like that, by the way. At that moment in American history, we all sounded just like that. There was one guy in American history that was like, well, I have had it up to here with the king in his castle. I'll show him how you know what, barbecue. I'm gonna start talking like this. I'll show that king and his taxes up there in that castle. And his friend was like, well, I do say so, sir. That is an impeccable way of speaking. I do. Barbecue. I'm gonna also start talking like this. And then one guy in the New Jersey colony was like, oh! Why do we all talk different? Isn't that weird? Why do we do that? We did that. Someone went to Minnesota and they saw nobody else around and they were like, well, I'm gonna start talking like a fucking doofus. Okay. Nobody but the bears to hear me out here. Nobody but the bunnies and the deer. Honey, would you like a soda? We're not calling it that no more, Greg. Pop. It's an onomatopoeia. Okay. The bit's dead. I agree. The bit's gone. I think the Revolutionary War is so silly. Like, you watch it and they talk about the revolution. They're like, George Washington, what a great tactician. I don't think so. It was George Washington's idea to be like, straight line, all of us, not an ounce of armor, not an obstacle betwixt us, and the evil men on the other side trying to kill you. And his plan was all fire at once. Okay, now you guys go. Like, what? That guy sucks at war. You give one 12-year-old with a Call of Duty account a musket, and he's 1v1000ing the entire British Army. That kid is gonna kill it. I don't know, you guys. You guys remember that we had bands playing during the Revolutionary War? Woo! Yeah, okay. It was the funnest part. It is so like it's synonymous with the war. We picture the Revolutionary War. We're like triangle hats, long guns, and then like a fun little quartet. And like they had a quartet during the battle. They were killing each other, and they had they were playing little ditties. What? I, up until watching this documentary, thought they were there for vibes. Like, I thought they were there for, ambiance. But I watched this documentary, and this is true. It turns out the bands playing during the Revolutionary and Civil War's job was to play a certain song that was in order to the soldiers on the front lines. Each song meant a new order because it was before radios or shouting was invented. Whose brilliant idea was it to put it on the shoulders of the flute guy? You put it up to the flautist to be like, oh, well, oh boy, okay, well, let's play the song that means we're losing. Like, that's like, oh God. He's like certain death. They're shooting marbles at him at a lethal velocity. And it's up to the flautist to remember the notes to Yankee Doodle? No. They put it on the shoulders of a band kid. It's the war. What if we still work like that, you know? What if we still did war that? Like, what if you're piloting your drone, and then Meg Thee Stallion's wet-ass pussy comes on? You're like, that means we bomb a hospital! I was on the Disney Channel. Woo! Yeah, anybody else? Losers! You should have done it. That shit rocks. That's the best. I was on Disney Channel right out of high school from the age of 17 to 21. My parents call it my era of being a prince. Because I sent out my laundry, I ordered food every night, and I would spit on plebeians. And split on plebeians. And it is funny to have that as your background. Because a lot of people are really worried. They're like, oh, post-Disney Channel actors. Oh, after Disney Channel, the fall from grace that these post-Disney Channel actors have. When's the last time you've checked on someone from your regular high school? Spoiler alert, they're also doing really bad. It's also terrible for them. They're like, oh, that guy was almost OD'd on heroin. It's better than fucking cosmetology school. Loser. At least he knows how to have fun. It is weird to it's a very unique way to grow up. I went through my senior year of high school. I had to go to studio school, which was in between rehearsal. You have to go to 3 hours of school with a studio teacher that's just a woman that had to be moved to Hollywood and is now a studio teacher. And so every time I'm sitting in class, every few minutes goes by and she's like, did you know I was almost in Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks? And I'm like, okay, who is Pythagorean theorem? Can you teach me real stuff? I didn't learn anything real. When I got the SATs and they didn't ask me where all the hidden Mickeys were, the fuck am I supposed to know? I don't know, you guys. I'm worried about myself. I am. We're supposed to be worried about each other, but I do this. So, I have a girlfriend. I have a girlfriend whom I love. My girlfriend is Gen Z, which of course means she's autistic. It's very true. They all are. It's a spectrum, and my girlfriend is on the hot side of the spectrum. I didn't know that my girlfriend was autistic. We've been dating for 2 years now, but 6 months into our relationship is when she told me that she had autism. And I didn't know, because she'd never bitten me or anything. And she starts telling me the symptoms. She has sensory processing disorder, and she starts telling me the symptoms of her autism. And I was like, oh, shit. I fear it's contagious. Because I too feel the way you feel. And she started describing more, and I was like, let me put my 2 fidget spinners down. What? What does this mean? She's telling me all these things. She told me she has sensory processing disorder, so she's like, I have a hard time watching a show if someone is chewing food loudly in my ear. Same, dude. I thought that was just because it was gross. I didn't realize that's the tiz. That's worrisome. And she goes, Joey, also another symptom, I find it a lot harder to see as well at nighttime. 2 for 2, you guys. I thought that was just because the sun had gone to sleep. No. Apparently there's a bunch of neurotypical people out there reading under moonlight. I had no idea. And now next time I see someone driving without their headlights on at nighttime, I'm like, oh, that's just a regular neurotypical woman. That's it for me, you guys. Thank you so much.
You're watching Jam in the Van Comedy, and we couldn't keep it heady without your support. So make sure to hit that like button Share this video with your friends, subscribe, and hit the bell to change your preferences to notify all. Join us for a show via the link in the description, and thanks for supporting live comedy.